Hello there, this is Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music, home of Mastering MuseScore. In this week's tip, I'm going to show you how to use cross-staff notation. This is the idea of a note that maybe lives on one staff but visits another staff. So what do I mean by this? It's a common thing we're going to see, for instance, in fugues, where you might have a melodic line that logically speaking, get the volume back up here, logically speaking, it exists as a single line, and it starts off making sense to put it in the treble clef, but as the notes get lower, maybe it's going to make more sense to move it to the bass clef. Maybe, maybe not, but I want to show you how to do it. So what you would do is decide where you want those notes to start moving down, and then you can use Control Shift Down. And notice that puts the note on the lower staff. It still technically lives on the upper staff. You can see that there's still a rest in the lower staff here, and that shows up there. It doesn't replace it, and so I would be able to then enter, say, some notes here on that lower staff. And maybe that causes me to say, well, I want this one to have its stem up, so I can press X to flip its stem up. You're going to be kind of in control of how this works. So you can do it for a single note at a time. You can also select multiple notes. Like if I want to move both of these two notes, I can select them both with Control click and move them both down, and then press X to flip them both up. You can also do it for beamed notes and have some notes on one staff and some on the other. Like if I decide I want these first four notes here, the B, C sharp, D, and C sharp to be on the lower staff, I can select those and use Control Shift Down, and you'll see it beams across the two staves. So Control Shift Down is the keyboard shortcut to move a note from the top staff to the bottom staff while still kind of keeping it connected to the top staff. Conversely, Control Shift Up does the other way around. Now, if you're not going to want to remember that shortcut, you can come over here on the toolbar to the Customize Toolbar button with the gear icon and scroll down to where you will see the command for that. It's a little further down, cross-staff beaming. And you'll notice it has a closed eye. If I click that to open the eye, now that command is here on the toolbar. So that's how you can do cross-staff beaming, or in general just cross-staff notation, because those first notes I moved weren't beamed at all. It's how you can have notes that kind of live on one staff and move them to the other, and it's useful for situations like I just showed you, where you have one line, logically speaking it's one line, but some of the notes make more sense on one staff, other notes make more sense on the other, so this allows you to move them in that way.